Welcome to Exploring Energy in Everyday Life with your hosts, Mary Von Olin and
Rebecca Cartier. Thanks for tuning in. We have a fun episode today. We're going to keep it short and snappy.
We never know what we're going to say, and you'll be hearing it the first time that we're hearing it.
Right. We're hearing it all for the first time together.
We wanted to talk about kind of what's really behind illness. What are your symptoms really about? What's the story you're telling yourself about your illness? Things like that.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about symptoms. So make sure you're seated when I tell you this. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm a medical intuitive, healer, nutritionist. I've been in this arena for a long time. What I've concluded thus far is that symptoms actually are a call to love. Okay, so what that means that each symptom is actually a gift or an opportunity to be more loving or to get back to love. So in short, that's what it is. Now, you can take that word love and, use the word power or divinity or truth or peace. Any one of those words are synonymous. But the bottom line is that because we cannot escape from the fact that we are divine beings, that we are a part of God, whatever God looks like to you is irrelevant. You have a life force in you, you're alive, you're a part of God, that's it. Okay, so because God is the life force in all things. So it's not a man in the sky. So this life force needs to flow. And it flows when it's in its power. And so anytime you have a symptom, you're out of alignment with your divinity or your inner truth. That's it. It's not a Nexium deficiency. It's not an Advil deficiency. It's not a surgery deficiency.
I don't need this body part anymore. Please take it out.
It is purely... it's purely just that. So let's just preface, that is what symptoms are. You can either see it as a gift. Most people see it as a curse. Most people see it as something that needs to shut up, but it's actually an aspect of you that is unrealized, that needs to be realized, that needs to be I guess that's where the word, that's where the word enlightened comes from. But this aspect needs to be illuminated and brought to the light. So that being said, you want to?
Yes, I mean, symptoms are trying to wake us up. They're trying to get our attention. They're there for a reason. Even if you just think about it from a physical standpoint, you got a headache, there's something causing the headache. You take an Advil, you no longer feel the headache, but whatever was causing the headache is still there. And now you're no longer able to even have the awareness that there's something wrong because you've already taken something to shut off the signal. But to me, I think another word for symptoms is signal. It's a signal, like you said. There's something out of alignment. There's something that we're missing.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that being said, so now our culture does not teach this. Our culture teaches take a drug. Our culture teaches go to surgery. Okay, I just want to make an aside that due to my innate trust in God or a higher power, I do not go to a doctor. Now, due to my innate trust in God, I have taught myself how to be my own doctor. And I think that we're moving into this more, where if you're, from an evolutionary standpoint, the more you become in tune with yourself, you're not going to need an external anything to thrive. And if you listen to your symptoms, you can, and if you listen to your heart, you will make better decisions for yourself, and you will be in alignment with your purpose and path, and in your truth, and you won't have to have a symptom present itself. I want to give an example. I was livid the other day about a certain situation, and instantly my knee froze up. Instantly it froze, and I was like, oh, what did I do? And I'm like touching my knee. I love you. I'm like, because I love running. we're just about to go into the spring. I love to garden. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the weather to break for months. I'm not going to be limping around when I have the tools to heal myself. So I just send love and light to my knee. I'm fine now. But the point is that it happened like that. Another instance.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
So what happened, and to elaborate on that for people who are new to this concept, it wasn't just that you needed to love your knee. It was what happened. You got ticked off, right? So you went into a place of anger.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so that affected the liver, and we don't have to get into all the nitty gritty behind
No.
it aesthetically, but yeah.
I was irate, okay? And I instantly had the signal like, whoop, you're out of love. Whoop.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. That explains it perfectly.
That couldn't be more spot on. Now, when you're in a chronic state of, if you're unconscious all the time, symptoms become the norm. Disgruntled, whatever, becomes the norm. You can't see out of your own way. And that's where something like meditation and prayer is so important, because that realigns us gets us back to the source of who we are. And then we can see things from another perspective. But when you're bombarded, when you're so unconscious, you're just like, man, I'll just take a pill and I'll just do this. You have to kind of like taking a spiritual shower, meditate and get clear with yourself, regroup, and then say, oh, I could do this differently. And so all the answers are within us. There's nothing external. So, again, this is revolutionary, because collectively we're not at this pace, but that's why we're doing this show, to help expedite people's evolutionary process, to help wake people up.
Well put. What else can we think about this? I was just thinking about the story that we tell ourselves. So when you talked about it, so then if you get into that place where then you're numbing out, however you numb out, block out, tune out, ignore the signs and the symptoms that our system is giving to us, that we're out of alignment, then you can start to tell yourself other stories, right, that aren't really true. And then the stories become like, oh yeah, I have this, oh, I get migraines. I have migraines. That's my story, or whatever the case may be. Right. And so, oh, I have this knee issue. And that's not really the truth, but you keep telling yourself that. And then what do? Then we're operating from the place of that story, which is untrue, and we look for evidence to support the story. And so we're constantly, when you're in that state, constantly just looking for evidence to support your fears and limiting self-beliefs, which aren't really true and don't really serve you. The only hidden benefit to them usually is that they're keeping us from being responsible and actually realizing our truth. And perhaps we have a fear about that too, like Marianne Williamson talks about. Fear our own power.
Right. Excellent, Mary. Well, I hope, I could talk for hours and hours, and I'm not, and we're not, and we're going to break this up into digestible segments so that you can sit with what we just said, and we're going to do another show, and in fact, probably countless shows, and to expand on this discussion right here. So you have just enough for now.
Right. Sounds good. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you like this, please click the like button, share it with your friends, comment, let us know your questions or comments on this topic, what you want to hear more of, and subscribe to our channel if you want to make sure you don't miss our episodes. Thanks so much. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.